Hey, what's up? This is Long Black Line. It's Brian Tichy, drumming with the Dead Daisies. And you're on BackstageAxxess.com, where the real show begins.
BackstageAxxess.com. We're here in the Kiss Cruise 4 with multi-instrumentalist and multi-talented and a wonderful person, Brian Tichy.
Wow, thanks for being so kind. How you doing, guys?
Good, man. How you doing?
Well, very nice to see you on this cruise.
Again, right? Woohoo! So this is your first cruise, right?
Yes. It's first time on a ship. First time doing a cruise. Dealing with am I going to be seasick or not? Which I'm wondering today if that's happening.
Rocky.
But I'm still here, standing up, not throwing up. So that means I'm probably not going to be seasick. I'm going with that.
We're going to talk about the Dead Daisies. This band is really killing it. You guys killed it live, and the new EP, Face I Love. Talk about the EP and the band.
Well, it's an EP because it's not an LP, and if you don't know the difference, you probably didn't grow up in the 70s, right? So EPs are a little shorter than LPs. I don't know what the E and the L stand for.
Long play.
I go with long play and epic play. An EP is an epic play. And there's like 4 songs on it, and we play them live, and they're rocking, and the band is rocking, and it's a lot of fun to play in this band. And we spent a couple months of summer, last month, all August with Def Leppard and Kiss, which was amazing for me. I'm a hardcore Kiss fan. It's the first band I got into and stuff like that. So here we are on the Kiss Cruise. It was nice. Like somehow through the August tour, this worked out, which was really nice.
And I was just going to mention, especially being your first cruise, being on a cruise with your, childhood band growing up, it's got to be an extra special feeling. It's bittersweet, right?
Oh, totally. It's not just a full circle thing. It's like, my dad came to one of the shows this summer, and our dressing room was right next to Paul's, and my dad met Paul, and it was like I had already told Paul that I saw Dynasty Tour 79, Madison Square Garden, and how my dad took me, and it changed my life, and he was really cool about it. So we got a picture of us together, and Paul, myself, and my dad, and it's just really cool because you're going, man, it was 79. I was just, Kiss was still, they were my first band, and I was probably in a couple other bands at the time, but there was a couple years where I learned everything on drums from Kiss records, and they were the only band I was into. I mean, you're talking 4th and 5th grade, so you're a little kid. And so it's really cool, when my dad got to meet Paul and Eric, and then to come here on this, and you go, man, all these years later, these guys are still at the top of their game, and they did an acoustic show today, which I know they do as their meet and greet, but they're well oiled. I mean, they sounded great. They played over an hour and doing some all the way from Hotter Than
Plaster
Hell.
Caster.
Awesome songs, and so it's just like you're watching these guys go, and it's pretty cool that here we are in the ship in this huge ocean, and I'm part of the entertainment on the ship that Kiss has put together as a Kiss Cruise. Yeah, it's nice. It's definitely nice.
And your other many projects, I want to get into the celebration shows that you do, the Bonzo Bash, the Randy Rose Remember, the Ox and Loon. Yeah. You're actually kind of becoming that guy who actually gets all this talent together to really celebrate, these amazing musicians. How did you get involved with that, and and what's it take to actually get these musicians to come and do this, or actually any of them?
You just hope that. Well, it started in 2010 with the first Bonzo Bash on the 30th anniversary of John Bonham's passing, September 25th. We ended up, my partner Joe Sutton in the thing. He's a Hollywood promoter, club promoter and all that stuff, and I was talking to him. I was like, I was just going to get a rehearsal room and like a keg of beer and call drummers and go, let's do it. Let's just have that. Seriously, just have a party on Saturday night. And I was like, but if people show up, like if we all showed up, why would I want to keep it in a rehearsal? It should be something that people see. Like if I really got the names in my head, there was like buddies of mine and drummers I thought, might be interested. So I told Joe, I go, what do you think? And he goes, I have that night on hold. This is like the beginning of the summer. 2010. He's like, I have September 25th on hold. So he talked to the Key Club where we did it, and they're like,
Yep.
yeah, well, of course, they're like, get us names. What names do you have? You know, what kind of shows this? But it ended up being 18 or 19 drummers with Kenny Aronoff and Chad Smith and Dave Lombardo and Danny Carey and Frankie Vanelli and Blotzer and Stephen Perkins and Kotak. It was like, but it was like, it was just like, and the band was, you know, my buddies were called the Moby Dicks, you know, we're the house band. So everybody picks one song, it gets on the kit, which is right at the front of the stage. It's all about the drummer.
Yep.
And it went so well, I figured do it one time. And then people, when are you going to do it again? When are you going to do it again? Hey, if you do it again, I want to play. If you know, so we did a couple more before I went out on Whitesnake's 2011 tour. And it was cool. They were on like school nights or whatever, so they weren't as like well received. I guess it wasn't a weekend thing. But anyways, we did that at the beginning of 2011, and then I came off the tour in 2012, and I was like, wow, you know, okay, Bonzo's birthday is May 31st, and we got the House of Blues that night, and we had 23 drummers, you know, Carmine and Vinny Appice and Greg Bissonette and you know, Portnoy, you know, Ray Luzier. It's like just like, wow, it's like, but when we're all there, it becomes way more than what you imagine, because it's not just, it's like we're all there, yeah, it's all about John Bonham, it's all about that. But then you go, what a great camaraderie happening at the same time. So it's many things happening at once. And the show, the pacing of the show isn't like a rock show. It's like one song, then you readjust the drums a bit and talk a bit in between every song. So everybody gets a little bit of an ear break, and the crowd can talk about themselves, or you have like guests come up and speak and stuff. So it's just a unique type of show, pacing. And not to make it too long-winded, but last year, 2014, we were gonna do Bonds Fest at NAMM, at the NAMM show.
Right. Yep.
Like, it's gonna be too many. It's gonna be too big. 40 drummers can't do it in one night. Let's do 2 nights. So they actually gave us 2 nights at the venue, the Observatory in Santa Ana.
Right.
And then it's like, man, what if the second night? What if it's just too much Bonzo for one weekend? What if it's just like too much? So we said, let's stick to one and just make it like 30-something drummers. Still real long, but instead of throwing the second night out, we talked about the other idea we had back in 2010 as Randy Rhoads fans. We were like, if we did another type of show like this, same exact show, but just for our guitar hero, Randy Rhoads. And Joe and I were both like, Joe's like, I saw Randy in Memphis on the Blizzard of Oz tour. I'm like, that record. That's one of the main records, probably if not the main one, when I started really digging into guitar. Not knowing what I was doing, but it was mainly just getting killed by I don't know, Crazy Train, that whole record, you know. So we play every Randy song with those 2 records plus a couple others, and each guitar player gets their favorite song, and that was that. So then there you go. We did that. It was received great, and then we end the whole show with a D guitar orchestra. Everybody that can play D, we get up there. We never did it. It's on YouTube. We did not rehearse it. Like there's 11 of us or something on stage, and 1, 2, 3, bling, bada bing, bang. We went through D, and it was like. That's how we end the show. Unplugged. Nobody's plugged in, just the mics on stage. And so this year we did the Ox and Loon, which is Entwistle Moon. We're calling it Entwistle Moon, the Ox and Loon, because if you don't know the Ox and the Loon is their nicknames, you go, what is this Ox and Loon? Entwistle Moon, the mightiest rhythm section in the history of rock and roll, really just changed the game for everybody, just the whole thing. So we went for that, and there's a little bit of a story behind why we did that, but it was Joe Sutton is buddies with Cy Langston, who was it was like tour managed the Who, co-wrote one song. So those 2 are buzzed. He was like, oh, you guys should do something for Entwistle. And I go, I love the Who and I love Entwistle, but I can't say that this person was as heavy to me as Eddie Van Halen or Jimmy Page. Even though I love Entwistle, you know. So I was like, but you know, doing Moon and Entwistle together, that's a game changer. That's a unique. So after all this time, putting all these things together. We were like, okay, this year we're going to put them all 3 together. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, called the California Music Fest. We needed a name. Joe thought of the name. You know, I was like, burnt out on trying to figure out a cool name, so we got California Music Fest, which is cool, but it just sums up what we do. It just means whatever we're going to do, it's going to be unique. It's not just like a live band. It's a unique type of show. And
this is actually going to be during NAMM 2015, in case anybody know. I believe it's around the January
22nd, 23rd,
yes.
24th. Yeah, Bonzo, Randy.
Yep.
So Bonzo Bash, Randy Rhoads Remembered, and Entwistle Moon, the Ox and the Loon on Saturday. So
and you can go to what site to get tickets?
I think you can go to all that stuff's on CaliforniaMusicFest.com or Facebook. You can go to any of those Facebook pages. It's all leads you to this stuff. You know, if you want to figure out how to get there, you'll get there.
And one of my other favorite projects, one of my favorite singers is Sass Jordan, who you guys have worked together for a long. You've known Sass obviously for a long time.
Yeah.
Something Unto Nothing is a really cool project that you guys got going on. And you guys released the record. It's been a little over, I think, 2 years now, right?
I think it's about 2 years.
Yeah,
I think
it's about 2
November
years.
of 2012, and it's an uphill battle. It's like we did the record at my house, and she lives in Toronto, so she'd have to fly out, stay at my house, record, blah blah blah. We try to be organic. We're totally organic about it. But instead of going, hey, here's a demo and sing over it at your place, and you send me stuff back, like it's never gonna be what it is when you're in a room together writing. The feel, yeah. Because we'll be writing, and then I'll go, oh wait, I just came up with this little progression, or you said a phrase that I really like, or some just our communication back and forth leads to another song idea, and that stuff wouldn't happen if we're just sending emails back and forth with little song ideas. It's not the same as writing together. So that's how that record became what it is. But with our schedules and my schedule and just the basic whole it costs money to get on the road. It costs money to get out in front of people, and there's not if here we are on the Kiss Cruise, and it's like those first 3 records. If you listen to how they toured, how they traveled, and their budget, they were broke. The Kiss was broke, but they're on the 3rd record in under 2 years. And most labels would say, see you later, you got the makeup, you got the outfits, you're cool, but it's just not working. Right. But back in the day, you could develop so much more, and look what they become. And I don't think bands have that kind of chance anymore. They haven't for a while, but that's where we're at. Unless you can get on a tour and there's guarantees there's you can get in the trenches and do it. You can but how long can you survive? And then wait a second, we're adults, we got to pay bills on top of it. It's not just like hey, let's go on the road for nothing and see what happens. We'll get some fans. But
it's unfortunate because such a good. Like I said, Sass is one of the sweetest, most lovable people you will ever meet, and her voice is just as good as it was 20-something years ago.
She's if you don't know her voice, it's badass. It's a combination of, if you you see a picture of her, you go, she's from Montreal, she's Canadian, and she's like this pretty small blonde chick, and you go, it's probably that sound, whatever that rings a bell in your head about that look, and then she sings like, and you're like, whoa, the control of her, because her control of her pretty voice and her aggro voice is heavy duty, and so it's like a comedy. It's like a little Paul Rodgers, a little Tyler, a little man. You know what? I realized after Tina Turner, I was watching some Tommy, the Who Tommy, and I was watching some Tina Turner. I'm like, wow, I've never really thought of it, but there's a Tina Turner quality with her too. So, but she's just a badass singer. Bottom line,
And the other project, which I was telling you earlier, everybody, you got your hands in everything. Steamroller Band. I know it's more of a fun kind of thing, but talk about that a little bit.
Well, that's me on drums, Doug Aldrich on guitar, Michael Devin on bass and singing, and Michael's still in Whitesnake playing bass. Yeah. Whitesnake and Doug left Whitesnake this year, but it's the 3 of us, and we just do covers. We just go around Europe doing covers and stuff, and we did a couple weeks in September. Yeah, we had to stop because everybody had other commitments to go back to, but it's something that we'd like to. It would be nice if we had some original music to get behind with it as well, which it's all about timing. It's all about, who has what kind of time to get it done, So
we unfortunately have to wrap it up because your bowling talents are wanted.
I gotta go bowl.
So we're gonna wrap it up here on the Kiss Cruise 4. We appreciate Brian Tichy for taking the time to talk to us, and check out the site to go to regarding the California Music Jam, right?
California Music Fest. And don't forget, while we're sitting here on the Kiss Cruise, I can't let this go. Myself, Rex, who's now in Kill Devil Hill. Rex was the bass player in Pantera. Bumblefoot, Ron Thal, Bumblefoot from Guns N' Roses. Right. And Mark Zavon, who's in Rex's band, Kill Devil Hill. We have a band that we did last year, a few shows, called Alive, an acronym, ALIVE, exclamation point. And we just get on stage as ourselves. We don't do the makeup and costumes, but we just do 70s era Kiss. Because we did a song for a tribute record. Yes, I remember that. Yep. We're we all grew up in this so hard. We're like, wouldn't it be fun to throw a band together and just do some gigs? We're all so into it. Yeah. So we did a few last year. So sitting here on the Kiss Cruise, I got to make mention of that.
Check that out.
Hopefully somewhere soon we'll get some more gigs together. It's a hell of fun.
The Daisies, Face I Love, pick it up. Awesome EP. Looking for new music from you guys. A full-length LP, which is long play for those people that don't know what that is. Brian, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Appreciate it, man.
For being here and taking the
Go
time.
ball, hit a strike, or throw a strike, or whatever.
No, I take this stuff seriously. I'm a sore loser when it comes to racquetball, bowling, and air hockey.
All right. BackstageAxxess.com. Thank you for taking the time.
Cheers.